Ty Yeti za rogi pizza, zje za rogi uchagi. Widzisz
Hi, and welcome to the first episode of Scrapped Videos. For this first episode, I decided to choose a video that I made a little over a month ago. This was supposed to be the first episode of another series that I thought of, titled Xyniz Rants. Xyniz Rants was going to be a contrast to my scripted and well-researched videos. The idea was to make a series where instead of researching a subject and writing a detailed script, I was just gonna rant about random topics that I had on my mind that day. I still don't think it was a bad idea in theory, and I might try to give the idea another shot in the future. But this video fell flat in a few different ways, in my opinion. So for starters, the idea was to have my non-scripted thoughts and feelings, but I ended up writing a script anyways, and you can hear that very clearly in my commentary. So before even getting into the actual content of the video, I already ruined the whole purpose by reading off a damn script. But that wasn't necessarily the reason why I ended up scrapping the whole video. The main reason was kind of the way I spoke and what I said. Let me explain. All that I said in that video was just the random thoughts of a somewhat casual Titanfall player, and you could probably disprove everything that I said in that video. That in itself isn't necessarily the problem, rather it was sort of the point. The problem was that I didn't break character from how I usually talk in my videos. Whether it's because I read from a script, or if that's just automatically how I act in front of a microphone due to still being new to all this, I really can't say. But I can say, however, that the tone in my voice made it sound like I was trying to be all professional and like I tried to act as if I knew what I was talking about, when really that wasn't the case. I also made this video right around the same time as my now ex-girlfriend broke up with me after over a year-long serious relationship, so I wasn't exactly feeling all that well, neither mentally nor even physically at that point, which is probably why I chose to fall back on the script so much. With the tired tone of my voice and the almost sad sounding pauses, it just makes the video come off as very forced and almost just brings down the mood. But that's just how I as the creator see my own video. As the viewer, you might have a completely different view of the quality of the video, so I'm very curious to see what you guys think. Should it have been a main video, or did it deserve its spot here on Scrapped Videos? Let's find out, shall we? So, I got Titanfall 1 not too long ago, and I absolutely fell in love with it. I played it all day, every day, until I was max level and had unlocked everything. So when there was nothing left for me to do in that game, I was really excited to hop over to Titanfall 2, since I'd heard it was even better, and in many ways it was. Addition of single player, new guns, new titans, camos, class abilities, all that stuff. But there is one thing that I think Titanfall 2 falls on, and that is its maps and how it affects gameplay. Keep in mind that this is only based on the game mode Attrition, since that's the only active game mode in Titanfall 1, and therefore the only game mode that I can compare. Also keep in mind I still absolutely love Titanfall 2 and I think it's an amazing game, just not quite on the same level as Titanfall 1. So the thing that I've always felt in the maps in Titanfall 2 is that they feel smaller yet somehow emptier. In Titanfall 1 there would be a battle going on everywhere you looked. Grunts to shoot at, titans battling it out, or a player to hunt down. It was controlled chaos at its finest, and there was never a calm moment, which is what I absolutely loved about it. The placement of the buildings also made it easy for even a new player to run and jump from wall to wall, gaining huge speed, and it always felt so nice and fluid. Now, in Titanfall 2 on the other hand, it seems that they've decreased the number of grunts, or at least it really feels like it, which makes battling without a Titan feel way slower, which is a huge problem since running around as the pilot is supposed to be all about fast-paced running and gunning. So having to scout for and hunt down grunts really ruins the pace for me. A lot of maps also have way too much open fields and quite few buildings. Sure, it's a good thing for Titan combat, I guess, but once again it ruins the pace and nature of running and gunning. On a lot of the maps I've played so far, it's really hard if not impossible for an average player to replace the feeling of jumping from building to building and gaining huge speed. A lot of times it's like jump, jump, and then fall to the ground because there was nowhere else to jump to. This also makes it mandatory to use your Titan. In Titanfall 1 you could ignore Titan combat and focus on just shooting grunts or other players if you so chose. Sure, you might say that it takes away half of the experience, but I think it's good to have more options and leaving it up to the player to decide what way they want to experience the game. Now, because of the openness of the maps in Titanfall 2, you will die to Titans a lot. You can no longer just ignore them unless you want to run around in the same small building the whole game. So the players like me who prefer to play outside of the Titan is forced to either try to dodge enemy Titans as best as they can or be forced to enter their own Titan even though they don't want to. What I found so great about Titanfall 1 was the ability to play the game the way that you wanted. If you wanted to do Titan combat, you could. If you wanted to run around and shoot grunts, you could. If you wanted to be on a roof and snipe, you could do that too, and so on. But the decreasing grunts and the openness of the levels almost force you to play a certain way, and with that, a lot of the magic with Titanfall 1 is unfortunately lost, in my opinion.
Bang, bang, two legends, one legacy. Bang, bang, surrounded by enemies. Bang, bang, go ahead and cry. Bang, bang, you're all about to die.